Well, good morning, afternoon, or evening, whatever time you're watching this. You are tuned in to YouTube's All Aboard Wisdom with me, Roxy M. Carter. Been a life coach for 33 years, radio, TV, talk radio personality, but I am here to do a whole bunch of fun podcasts, and they're not just fun. If you're into enlightenment, you don't want to sleep your way through life. You want to really get to the bottom of things. You're tired of just, I call it life skimming. You just know what's basically going on, but you really don't have the depth of what's going on, and maybe like a little bit of a deeper life. Maybe you're looking to become more spiritual. Whatever it is, I'm here for you, and I'm so excited to do these podcasts with you because it's giving you an opportunity. You do you. You end up believing whatever it is you want to believe. This is your life. This is your time on the planet. But I have some things I want to talk to you about. And today we're going to be looking at, and it's a very, very important thing, and it goes very deep. So if you just look at a title on any of mine, they'll give you a title like, what it's talking about, but it's going to be 10, 20, 30 times deeper than that title. So you really don't want to miss any of these podcasts. I'm telling you, they are so effective. And with my life coaching clients, my success rate is probably anywhere from 92 to 98%. And it's been like that for 33 years. And my radio shows have had people just writing in and calling saying, oh my God, I wish somebody would have talked to us about this stuff before. So now you got me on YouTube, All Aboard Wisdom. So I'm getting you all aboard. Too many of you haven't come aboard to learn anything new in the last few years. So today we're going to be talking on, it's all of this. And an exact term isn't just thoughts. It's on what are your constant thoughts. I don't know. I don't really think about it. I just think, what pops into my head pops in. No. Your life is not going to work. I want your life to work. I want your life to be exceptional. I can't do that for you. And here's another one. You can't have that kind of a good life unless you get to start paying attention. This is the key. It's so simple. It don't cost you nothing. Pay attention. Pay attention from the time you're going to wake up through the middle of your day, on your way home, wherever it is, if you're coming home from work or whatever, before you go to bed. We're going to go into that in a few moments here. But if you don't and have not been paying attention to what your thoughts are, well, thoughts are thoughts. Doesn't matter. Those are just things that pop in my head. Thoughts are everything. The thoughts that are in your head are going to dictate to a happy or a sad life. It's going to dictate to a positive or a negative life. And my goal as a life coach, I coach. There's a football coach, a basketball coach. We're coaching because we're rooting for you. We're rooting for your team to win, and we need you to win. But the only way you're going to win is to be aware of what your thoughts are. So let's jump right into this. So what are your constant thoughts? Well, I don't know. I don't have one constant one. It's all over the place. No, I'm telling you, if you really do the work, you're going to realize you do keep going back to point A, point B, point A, point B, point A, point B. Don't that make it drive you nuts when I say that? Because that's what you do. You do keep going back and forth to the same thoughts. Okay? You do that. Now, until you start paying attention to that, and I need you to, so you can really start digging your life. Whether you're younger, you're medium age, you're senior, you're old, whatever's going on, there is never a point that this does not pertain to you, and it will change your life totally. But you have got to, and it's free, it's simple. You can do this all by yourself. I would personally get a little notebook and start writing down, what are my constant thoughts? Well, you say, well, they're not constant. I take a break from them. No, we're talking about the thoughts that keep popping back up in your head. And I guarantee you, they're like on a springboard. They're like a trampoline. They do keep bouncing back in your head. So let's look at a few things and what a few of them are. Okay. So from the minute you wake up, I want you to visualize now, either the alarm clock goes off or your eyes roll around in your head and you just happen to wake up. However it is, you wake up. Everybody wakes up a different way. Somebody has to shake you or throw you out of bed, whatever has to happen to get you up. But when you first wake up, let's start with this. The moment you wake up, we need you. We meaning me and everybody who's rooting for you. want you to get better, because the only way you can start this, and the perfect place to do this, you have to start at that point. Well, it's too early for me to think about that, Rox. Honey, it's never too early or too late, because this is where it starts. I want you to document and start paying very close, consistent attention to, from the moment you wake up, what are your first thoughts? Well, I don't know. I just think I need my coffee. I'm going to stagger into the kitchen, yada, yada. Well, here's the first thing. I want you to think about what your first thoughts are. So when you wake up, what is my first thoughts? Now, here's what a lot of people's first thoughts are. If they don't live alone, if they have a mate, if they have somebody they live with, if they have children, they're a caregiver, whatever it is, the first thoughts many people have are, who's going to need me? Who needs me? What do they want? Who needs me now? And then it's with a little resentment. It's with a little twinge to it, but we don't want to sound that way. And then we say, but I'm tired. Okay. I'm a little on burnout. So, don't beat me up for my thoughts. I don't beat anybody up. You think your thoughts, you do you, I do me. I'm just bringing it to the foreground. Why? We're floating it to the top so you can see you, not how you think you are, so you really get to the bottom of you, and not to beat yourself up and not to judge yourself, but to really get to the core of what's going on. So nobody can change you. Nobody can change anybody, but you can want to change things because you can see it's not working for me. And only you know if it's not working for you, even if you don't admit it or not to other people, you know if it's working for you. So it all begins from the moment you wake up. And the first thing is, a lot of people go into, it's a little bit of a negative or a stress mode, because they say, okay, who needs me? Who's going to call my name? Who wants me? What do they need? What do they need now? So that's something you've got to be aware of. Is that one of your first thoughts? It's about being needed. Who's going to need me and want me? Basically, if they need and want you, you're not going to have that time for yourself. And that can really set you into a subconscious thing of being not even aware that I'm starting to resent this. That will affect your attitude. Here's another one. Oh my God, my eyes fly open. Oh, am I running late? I'm running late. Oh, am I running late? Now, I want you to realize, if you're a habitual running late person, it's not the clock's problem. It's not the clock's fault. Okay, we're not going to blame you. Exactly. What we're saying is, you have got to choose to quit living your life and being known as the late one, or the one who hits a heartbeat really fast and you almost give yourself a coronary, sliding in the door. You're driving crazy in traffic. Oh, I hope nobody noticed that I'm a minute late. I hope nobody noticed. I mean, do you realize what you're putting yourself through? All because you will not take control. You have to do it. It's not anybody else's job. Don't say, well, you didn't wake me up this day. You know you have to learn to wake yourself up. Okay, and give yourself time. But the thing is, if you're habitually late, if you're playing it always that close to the wire, it's time for that to change in your life. When that changes, oh my God, so many things are going to change. First, pay attention to what your first thoughts are when you wake up. Second thing is, are you a person that goes in and thinks, oh my God, am I going to run late? Am I running late? Now, there's another bunch of people, and it's a real sickness. I'm being honest with you. It's all about, I got to be early. I got to be early. I got to be early. Now, I want you to understand, so people who are early, they are, going like this. They're, proud of themselves. I'm early for everything. I want you to understand that's fear-based. Every single person who is, I got to be early. I got to be early. I got to be the first one. I got to be early. Okay. They're usually people who don't like condemnation. They have been picked on, or they've been criticized in their life, and now they found some kind of a false power within themselves. Well, I'm the first one there. I'm impressing everybody. Nobody can find nothing wrong with me. See, I'm already here. I'm the first one here. Yeah, see, I mean, you understand, that is pressure on the body, the organs, and everything else. As much, it's equally as devastating to the body as the person, oh, am I going to be late? Oh, I'm going to be late again. Oh my God, I'm going to be late. This is where people have got to balance out, because God did not make the body, your heart, your organs to keep living like this, because it's going to cost you. You're going to shorten your life. It's going to age you. And none of this is healthy. As a life coach, I'm telling you, there's nothing to be proud of saying, well, I come in classily late all the time, or, oh my God, I'm always the first one there. I'm always early. Understand, both have some underlying factors that is an unhealthy factor. Something happened in life, something you heard, some way you feel about yourself that's causing this. And I'm just telling you this, don't ever think that either one extreme, because anything that's an extreme, you're out of balance. And it's really important you know that. And that's what my job is. And that's why I'm bringing these podcasts to you. So you can sit in your living room, watch these on YouTube, on TV. You can, be watching them during your lunch break. You can be watching them, wherever you're at, on a plane, on a trip. I have somebody right now who's watching them every day over in Italy. I mean, seriously, they're on vacation. So, I mean, these things will change your life. Watch them over and over, because here's something they know for sure, and I know for sure. It's when you do something over and over, over and over, over and over. Each time you listen to it, see it. Listen to it, see it. I guarantee you, you're going to absorb more and more, and then you're going to grow more and more. Usually when you throw the seeds out there to a person, they don't take roots and you don't get the depth of it. So every single podcast that I've created, whether you think that's that's my topic or not, this is not a candy store. Just go pick and choose. I'm telling you, if you want to have a really good life, you want to have a happy relationship with other people, you want to have a good relationship with yourself. I just finished doing one on pets. You want to have a good relationship with your pet. So many things you think things are okay, or I'm doing just fine, or, are you judging me? I don't judge anybody, but I want you to work on you, for you, because of you, so you can say to yourself that I know I do better because I know better, and then I acted on it. So that's another thing. So I also want you to understand and ask yourself, when you have these thoughts, we're talking about your constant thoughts. Do you dread your day? Do you dread your job? Do you dread the drive to work? Do you dread the people you work with? Do you dread? And here's something that's very important. Scientists, doctors are wiser today, and they know the emotions are connected to your health. The doctors, wiser people, they're not wiser, they're wiser human beings, and they know the connection between mind, body, and spirit, emotions and your health and your organs. And they know that people who dread, they spend their life, I'm dreading this, I'm dreading that. Do you know those people are very prone towards cancer? Interestingly enough, isn't that the one biggie disease? You mention the word and people go, oh, I don't want to hear that word. I dread it. Well, do you know that in the emotion dreading, and if you live your life from the minute you wake up, I'm dreading, who's going to want me? Who's going to need me? Now, what do you want? Oh, am I running late? Oh, I got to be too early. I'm dreading this. I'm dreading that. I'm dreading this. I mean, this is not a normal way to live. And sometimes we have, it's an addiction. It's something in us. And we do have to go to God. We have to go to the Creator. And we do have to say, I need you to heal these things in me. Because sometimes these things and these emotions I'm describing to you are bigger than what we can actually handle on our own. And also go in for life coaching and counseling. But I'm telling you, many times these things are running our life, and they're really shortening our life. They're aging us, and we don't even realize, you don't even think about it. And these are some of the big culprits to what's shortening your life. The other thing is, that's really a huge thing, is when you are fearing. So we know the dreading, I'm fearing. Well, I'm afraid of this. I'm afraid of that. How many people, when you have a conversation, you start, well, I'm afraid that this is going to happen. Well, I'm afraid if I go here, this is going to happen. Well, I'm afraid if I go for this job thing. Well, I'm afraid. And you don't even realize, not only are you thinking it, you're saying it. And when the words come out of your mouth, boy, do they create power. Then they have a magnetic energy. And then you start having more things in your life that you're going to fear. Now, nobody told you this before. This is what I do as a life coach. This is what I've done on my TV radio shows. I'm a informer. I'm an informative person. I'm an influencer, as they call it. And what we're doing is we're trying to show you a higher way, or you can stay the level you're at, and then you're going to start wrinkling up. You're not going to feel well. You're going to have a lot of aches and pains and different things, and you wouldn't even attribute it to all these things we're talking about. And it all really begins what your first thoughts are when you wake up. So I want you to get a little notebook and start thinking about, what are my first thoughts when I first wake up? And these things are going to have everything to do with everything. We're going to do other ones on it, but these are the ones we have to start with. The other one is, how much of the time in your thoughts do you compare yourself? So when you get out of the car, you walk into work, are you comparing what somebody else's shoes look like, what their hair looks like, how their clothes look? Do you know that we do these things so automatically because the mind and the brain work so fast? It's a bunch of neutrons in our head, and they work so quickly we don't even think about, well, I don't even know. I don't think I think about that. Well, maybe I do. Maybe I don't. You don't even know what you think about. You have got to ever win at the game of life. To ever win in life, you have to start with always. Remember, Roxy's telling you this. Always you have to start with knowing your thoughts. And if you think, well, I don't know, these are just thoughts. You think I have time to watch my thoughts? If you don't have time to watch your thoughts, you are not going to have a good visit and lifetime down here. You're going to be winging it all the time. And the Creator did not make you to wing it. You're supposed to be in the driver's seat and feeling comfortable with your life. But also another thing is, how much of the time are you comparing yourself? Interesting. The other thing, let's see what else. I have a bunch of stuff up here that I want to look at, that I want to have to say here. Also, when you go to work, the truth is, do you really like people? Now, there's some people who really want to go invisible. That's the truth. You want to call them introverts or whatever. But there are some people who really want to go in, do their job, go in, go out like a stealth, the invisible airplane. They want to go in, get out, get your paycheck, get in, get out. I don't want to see people. I don't want to deal with people. And nobody's saying it's right or wrong. Either way, it's a prototype of personality. Okay, this is important stuff. Well, I don't know. I never really thought about it. I don't know. I read something. Am I an introvert, extrovert? Reading something in a magazine and wetting your thumb and thumbing through the pages. This is not education. Okay, I'm educating you. I'm giving you facts you're not getting. So watch, rewatch this. This is going to change you mind, body, and spirit, what I'm giving you. But these things are very, very, very important. Do you like to be invisible? Do you want to be working your own little cubicle? Leave me alone, leave me alone. And then I want you to think about why. Well, I don't know. I guess that's how I am. Well, that's who I am. I don't know. I don't want to think about it. You have to think about it, because it's usually from a series of what happened in your childhood, your young life. Think, well, that was a long time ago. I don't have to. These excuses you keep making. Well, that was a long time ago. Well, that was in my childhood. I don't have time to think about that. Well, do you realize you're going to be going down the road into a, Alice in Wonderland's rabbit hole, and you're not going to ever really be happy, peaceful, and successful? Because if you avoid these things, because you're knocking yourself out to avoid them. The other type of people there's the people who want to be invisible, like the stealth airplane, and the other ones who all they want to thrive is being out there. Dun, 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 dun. They want to thrive. They be around people. They want to be around groups of people. There's also a reason why they're doing that too. And it's not always because somebody's a narcissist or they're egotistical. It's just they really do really fondly love people, and they like people energy. So again, remember, many people though who do hide out, they really have inner fears, and they have dreading. So it's the emotion that's in there, fear and dreading. If I'm around other people, they can hurt me, ruin me, they can ruin my day, they could bring me down. So everybody, leave me alone, leave me alone. And then the other ones are out there, tap dancing through life, and they want to be part of everything going on. And what's beautiful, there's no right or wrong, but you got to know why you're doing it. So it all starts with you, me. I do it every day of my life. I check in with myself constantly. And I had to teach myself this. I teach my clients, and my success rate is off the charts because I taught them to pay attention to what you think about. Now, the other thing is, when you go to bed, are you angry? Are you angry when you go to bed? Are you angry when you wake up? Are you angry midday? If you are, you're probably going to have heart trouble, and you can have issues with your blood. What did you just say? Yeah, you're like a real candidate. Why would you make yourself a candidate for blood pressure, stroke, and even issues with the blood? You're actually affecting your own hemoglobin, because you're throwing so much anger and rage. I'm so angry about this first thing in the morning. I'm so angry about this during the day. I'm so angry about this before I go to bed. And then you marinate it in however many hours you sleep in. So, I want you to realize, is it worth it to have all these emotions and thoughts, but I don't want to think about it? I don't have time to think about it. Well, then your thoughts will take over you. I want you to understand that. Either you're going to take time to think about these things. To do it, the younger you can do it right now. I don't care how old you are. You can still start doing it now and change your health. You can change everything. And when your emotions and your thoughts are too strong, sometimes you do have to go to God, and you do have to be spiritual. You do have to get spiritual help, because many issues go back to childhood, mid part of your life, and different things and things you've been through, you saw, you heard, and you might need spiritual healing on those type of things. So don't always try to do it yourself, because it can be overwhelming, the deeper the things. Also, in your thoughts, pay attention to, are you a nosy person? These people really, they find themselves very funny. I'm very nosy, curiosity. It don't really kill the cat, really. And basically, are you a pot stirrer? Do you get things going, and are you a gossip? A lot of people who are nosy, pot stirrers, and gossip, they really find themselves funny, entertaining, because people do come around them, not because they like them. They just want to find out the gossip. Okay, and the lowdown on other people. And people really, I'm gonna be honest with you, if you are nosy, a pot stirrer, and gossip, you might have some people around you, but I guarantee you they don't like you and they actually really disrespect you. They don't trust you and they really don't really want you for friends. They're just using you to find out, like tuning into the news. Now, if you're okay, being a gossip and nosy and, a pot stirrer, getting things going and say, oh, you wouldn't believe what happened when I said this. You should see what they said and did, blah, blah. I want you to understand that's a really, really shallow human being who don't have much of a life. I want you to know that. And those are some of the worst qualities. And even if you have people ganging around you like, yeah, what happened? Tell me all about it. They're feeding off of you. And when they're done, they really realize that they really don't trust you. They really don't like you. And that is not a real good reason to have people around you. Also, the thing is, do you think about money a lot? That's another big one. Money, 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 money. ABBA made a really good song many years ago called Money, Money, Money. I won't sing it to you, but it's a very powerful thing. Many people don't think about money, but it's always in their mind. It's constantly. So is that always in your mind from the minute your eyeballs roll open and all through the day? Also is, I want you to realize here's a big one. This is huge. It's not just about money in general, the dollar sign. It's how you're thinking, your brain, what your thoughts are of how I'm going to spend my money. How am I going to spend it? People who really are unhappy, people who their life isn't cutting it. The only way they know to get a quick fix, and it's an addiction, is to sometimes workaholic as they do, because they need money to feed their addiction, to spend. So I want you to understand that money, when it becomes a god, and I don't know, biblically, I believe it says, have no other gods before me. Well, some people make money their god, and you have to understand your thoughts, why money is so important to you, why it is. It's very important, the why. And the other thing is, when you do have it, how are you spending it? Because your thoughts, you have to pay attention to your thoughts. As soon as you have it or why you want it, you have to analyze and say, oh, I don't have time to analyze. Well, then you are not going to ever grow and you're going to stay an emotional dwarf. And I would love you to be a full grown person. You're living in an age where we're supposed to know more, do more, and be better. That's another thing. So these are some things in your thoughts. Also, I want you to realize that all thoughts that we have, every single thought that we have, there's not a thought that you or I have. There is not one thought that just goes nowhere. Every single thought that floats into our head, just like a little cloud, it floats into our head. When you think it, because you think it, it's like sheet music. You sit down at a piano, you put the sheet music in front of you, you play it. So if you think about it, you've played it, it goes somewhere. It goes somewhere into you. And if you keep thinking that thought over and over and over and over, that is the tune of your life. That becomes who you are. That becomes what drives you. That is what is constantly prompting you, and you really don't even own your own life. Then you become a slave to it. So we have to go back and think about all thoughts. Remember, all thoughts do go somewhere, and they are causing so much stuff in our health and everything. And another thing is very important. You have to really, and it's really important. You don't have to. I would if you want to be smart. And I don't know anybody that puts their hand up. Yeah, I'd like to be dumb. I don't think anybody goes for the dumb award. But you also have to be honest in your thoughts. How do I feel about my home? How do I feel about my family? How do I feel about my mate? Some people actually there's that dread word. They dread to come home to, because they really hate their mate. They hate their house. They hate this. They hate that. They're so disgusted with it. And you would not believe all the things that shorten people's life, and their organs and bodies get sick, all because of the thoughts they have. And you know what their favorite thing is? I didn't say that. Did I say that? Did anybody ever hear me say that? I never said it. Well, you know what? And if you've heard my other podcasts, very important about energy and everything else, every podcast has all this great stuff in it. Listen to them all. Did you know it don't matter if you say it or not? The energy is affecting you and infecting you. And it's, again, negative energy, these thoughts, these things. If you're pushing things down inside of you, there's the two people, they get it all out, or there's the ones, that's another one, they get it all out. Other podcasts, it's all in them. Listen to them all. Do you get it all out, or do you just stuff it down? I didn't say that. I didn't say that. Did you hear me say that? I didn't say it. These are the people that end up with some of the worst terminal illnesses there are, and they spend the most money at the doctor. Now, I'm not telling you to be the one that you're aware of it and then you scream and yell and get everything all out. Everything has to be in balance in your life, but your thought life is everything. So when you're trying to fix anything in your life, if it's your money, if it's your love life, if it's anything, I don't care what area in your life, there's not one area you can pinpoint that you have to go and start with, what are my thoughts from the minute I wake up? Then you actually go in and think, what are my thoughts during the middle of my day? What are my thoughts on my way home? And what are my thoughts right before I go to bed? Every one of those things make a huge difference. There is no other place to really start to be successful. And actually do get a notebook and start writing this stuff down for yourself, because as a life coach, I know it works. It always works. And my success rate is just awesome. I want you to be successful. Lastly, in closing, I do want to say that many times we have things going on in our life that are so deep, or we've done them for so many years and so long, that you're going to need God help. You're going to need spiritual help. And there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes the strongest people in the world, they will humble themselves and have these God talks, and they'll let him come in and help them with things and assist them. And then it really speeds things up when you do bring, God and spirituality into the picture. But again, let's get you in control of what are your consistent thoughts. Pay attention to what they are and realize they are driving you, they're pulling you, they're pushing you, and they're directly affecting your health. And I don't know anybody who don't want to live long and who doesn't want to feel healthy. And as you get older, it's going to mean a lot more, because nobody wants aches and pains or anything else. All right, well, have a wonderful day. Tune into every podcast. Don't just get hooked on what that little title is. There's so much in every one, and they're all deep. They're all helpful. And get yourself a notebook as you're watching everyone. Keep watching. These are addictive. Have a great day.